Hello, Wendy at French and Lovely here. I wanted to share my latest journal with you that I've made with Father's Day in mind. I had this old copy of Robinson Crusoe which had sadly been written in and had some of the pictures coloured in and some of the pages torn out, so I decided to give it a new lease of life as a journal. I've bound it with tea-dyed baker's string in complementary colours. I've attached some little shells from my local beach, and this is a rusty ring that I also found when I was beach combing, so I thought that was quite appropriate, and tied it with raffia. Inside you can see that I've strengthened it with some old hessian, and I've left this page blank because I thought you might want to write your own greeting in there if you give it as a gift, or there's a little pocket if you wanted to pop a greetings card in there, and a little flap for a secret message. It's the front page of the original book, and then I've just added journal just so that they know what it's for. As it's all about travel, I included some little travel images here, little trains, another little steam train here, and then I've sewn in a ship image, sorry, it's late in the day, and this is from a fantastic book I have called Les Grands Sauveteurs, which is here, which I wanted to show you. It's not actually dated, mind the tripod, but it's sort of late 1800s, early 1900s, and it's all about people's heroes. And again, this was in pieces, so I've decided to use it for journaling. It appears later in the journal as well. So that's that book. Whoops, lost a bit there. And a bit more. It really is falling to pieces. Then I've added a bit of very old fabric that I thought was reminiscent of sails, and then made a little pocket which has a facsimile of a ship's card that shows your sleeping quarters and where you would eat, and there's journaling space on the back. Another book I've used in here is this zoology book here, which is also falling apart, and there are various pages which I'll show you as we go through, and I like this one because it had the ship image. And then it's all about sponges and starfish, so I included a nice starfish here from a dictionary. I have a vast collection of these amazing French dictionaries which have just fabulous images in them, and I find these at the French markets and I just can't resist them. This one's in good condition, so I haven't cut it up, but some others I have, which is how they appear here. So there's an image there, and it's stuck onto a piece of old journal, which is an accounts journal that I have here, which sadly isn't dated, but just has this amazing paper. So that's there. And then going on, some more travel images, and this again is an original book. I can't remember the date of this one. I think it's 1869, I can't remember now. But again, falling to pieces, didn't have a cover, so I've decided to give it new lives by putting it into journals. And this image I thought was very appropriate because it's travel again, and so I popped a map in the middle here. And then I was thinking of the jungle life on the island and thought this was a rather cute image to add. More of the journal paper, and then this is more of the zoology and botany book, and it's talking about ferns. So popped out into the garden, dried a fern. This has been a long process. This is a fern from my garden which I've dried and stuck onto a card. It's actually got some fabric under there as well, but you can't really see anymore because I've covered it in tissue. And again, that opens up. I wanted to make lots of journaling space in here. And moving on, we have some seaweeds, and so I've got some images of some seaweeds. And then shells, of course, will be found on the beach here. So I've done a little shell image and then used the shell tape to attach a little layer notepad. And then this, I love this. This was from the zoology book, so this is the original piece of paper. And then I got this image from the web, which is a very famous image, but adorable, so had to be done. And going back to Les Grands Sauveteurs, these are two of the heroes that are named in the book. So again, a lovely original piece of paper. This is tea-dyed paper, and then I put an image. French for grasshopper is sauterelle, and when I read sauveteur, it reminded me of sauterelle, so this is why we have a little grasshopper here. And then here we go, the appropriate page from the zoology book, and then a butterfly image while we're talking about insects. And more of the same, more insects, a bit more of the Robinson Crusoe book, a bit of writing space there. And this is one of the images which does have a line across it, but I decided it was worth saving. So I've given it a frame of sacking, and then there's another little image of Robinson Crusoe on a raft here, a little tuck pocket. And then we've got some old French newspaper and just an old French image and a nice little bit of fabric there. These pages are quite fragile, so I decided just to strengthen with some old French cotton. And then we have a little notepad made up again of dictionary paper, various other bits of paper. And there's one in here if I can find it. Oh, here we go. This squared paper is from this exercise book, which I absolutely love. And this is, I don't know if you can see, it's from 1908 up here. And this was somebody's exercise book. Somebody called Evelina. And it's got some spaces in the back, so I decided to use some of it, because otherwise it's just going to sit on a shelf. There we go. And again, some old French music score paper, and reminded me of a map, so thought, let's stick that in. Then I've done some facsimiles of some cigarette cards that I don't know what year they were. They were issued by Gallagher Limited of Belfast and London, series of 100. And these are based on Robinson Crusoe, so there's 3 of those tucked into a little pocket. Then back to transport, thinking of bicycles, I have this, I'll show you the original. This is a scan that I've taken of an original invoice that I have from 1927. I have a collection of invoices that I just adore. And so there's one that I've shared with you there, and a little bicycle image. Then back to Robinson Crusoe and his parrots. So I thought I'd put in a feather. There's a feather, little tuck pocket. More insects, more writing space again. And then transport. I love this image. Had to include this because I was thinking, what would he be doing on the island? He'd be thinking about escaping. So some hot air balloons, and these are from another fantastic book called Les Grands Inventions, I can't say it, Great Inventions anyway, which is another lovely book. And this one, I can't get it in that image, is 1873, and it's just full of fantastic inventions, and that's where the balloon image comes from. Whoops. And some more seaweed and undersea images, lots more space for writing. And then this, I love this image, him in his hat. So I found some fur. Oh, the sun's coming in. Found some fur, well, fake fur, don't worry, to add to it, and then just did some dog prints for the dog image. And more parrots. So I thought, let's have some eggs. So I've got some eggs here. So my voice is going as well. And then another page, I thought I'd add some wave images. This is from a 19th century embroidery roller I have, which is this amazing little wooden roller, and I thought it looked like waves, so I included that. And some little cards with mermaids on. Then more writing space. This was from a very fragile atlas. I can't find it at the moment, but I've put plastic over it to preserve it because it was just falling to pieces. And nice little map, more writing space. And then we have here, this is, oops, it's coming out a bit. This is sand. I've made a little tracing paper envelope, and this is sand that I've collected from my local beach with, I don't know if you can see a little, let's bring it into the sunshine, a little bit of sea glass and a little oyster shell in there. And then we have a fish image. And I thought, again, he's got time on his hands. Let's have some clock images. So we've got like a steampunk clock here, and then some watches, and then that opens up flaps, so lots of writing space for the time he had. Then we're back to seaweed, or seaweed image, more writing about seaweeds, and then more creatures from the jungle, beautiful mermaid and shell images, and then another little flap at the back with, ooh, I can't flap it up, oh, it's got stuck, there we go, an anchor, and then there's an envelope here, and inside I've written a bit of the history, dates of the books, etc. And that's it. I hope you enjoyed it. Oh, thank you.